Bassick from Rock and Roll Academy Ojai here, and I wanted to share a beginning guitar lesson with you. So we're going to talk a little bit about the guitar and how to hold it and some basic skills. I'm going to teach you a few beginner chords, and we're going to go over that song that I just played and sang for you, Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles. Great classic song and easy to play. So for starters, what you want to do is really learn how to position the left hand with the guitar. And that's one of the things that beginners sometimes struggle with. The left hand position, what you want to do is take your hand, palm up, bring that up towards the neck of the guitar, curling your fingers over, and then just allowing your wrist to hang naturally. You don't want your wrist extended out too much this way, straining like that. You don't want it back too much like this, straining this way. You really want a relaxed, natural position there. And with the elbow also, you don't want the elbow out this way too much. You don't want it completely against the body. You want it hanging naturally. So you want a nice, relaxed feeling with the left arm. And then as you bring it up, your thumb is going to be about 2/3 of the way up from the bottom of the neck to the top of the neck, about 2/3 of the way up, and basically pointing upwards and pressed against the back of the neck. And then you bring the fingers around, and you want to arch the fingers around so that they are going to come down relatively straight down onto the string. If the fingers are like this, they're going to touch adjacent strings as you're fingering the strings, and then they'll mute those strings and you won't be able to hear the strings ring out properly. So you really want the fingers to come down relatively straight. Not dead arrow straight like this straining, but just kind of a gentle arching so that they're coming down. And it's important to have pretty short fingernails. It's one of the sacrifices that women sometimes have to make, cutting those nails off on this hand. On the right hand, sometimes it's nice to have some fingernails. If you finger pick, it gives a louder sound to the strings. And that just takes some experimentation and practice to learn what works best for you. But definitely on the left hand, you really want your fingernails quite short. And then on this song and what we're doing today, we're going to use a pick. And, just your typical triangular pick. There's lots of different kinds. I like the picks that have some texture on them so that they're easy to hold and they don't slip around too much. This one is made by Dunlop, which is a common company that makes them. They make very good picks. And the way to hold the pick is to put your thumb up like that, take the pick and just kind of bring it like that so it's kind of sticking out. And then take this finger and wrap it around like that so that the pick is coming out like that. And then you just bring it down and it has kind of a natural feel. Most people, once they have that position, they kind of let the fingers go out like that. And that gives kind of a natural rhythm so that you really can kind of move your wrist a bit. A lot of the motion is going to come from the wrist, not so much the arm. And so in this lesson, what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you two beginning chords, a C chord and an E minor chord. And for the purpose of this, I'm going to teach you simplified beginner chords. As you progress and learn, you will add to these chords so that they become the full versions of the chords. But for today, we'll do the simplified version. And so let's tune up first. Make sure that your guitar is in tune. We'll start with the low E string. And just see if you, as you hear the tone of my string, try to match your string to my string. This is E. And then A. D. G. B. E. I went through that really quick, so if you didn't get that, you can stop this and go back and hear it again because I really breezed through that quickly. There's also lots of really good apps on smartphones that are free or very inexpensive that are tuners that will help you tune up your guitar. Okay, so back to the C chord. The way to make the C chord is to take the index finger, the first finger, and you are going to fret the second string, the B string, at the first fret. These metal bars are frets, and when you're fretting, you're pressing the finger down, pressing the string down to the fingerboard behind the frets. You don't want to press right on the frets. You want to move back a little bit towards the peg head here and press down behind the frets. And it's important that as you're pressing down that string, you're not touching the adjacent strings. And for both of these chords today, we're going to be playing the bottom three strings, the G, B, and E string. Just those three strings. So for the C chord, you're pressing down that second string at the first fret, and then you play that chord. And it's good also when you make a chord like that and you're working on this to play the strings individually so that you can make sure that each one is sounding out and ringing clearly, like this. Once you know that it's ringing clearly, then you can play the whole chord. So that's the C chord. The E minor chord is the second chord we're going to look at today, and that is much easier than the C chord because you don't fret any of the strings. You just play all three of the strings open. So to go back and forth between those, the C is, and then the E minor. And so in order to play the song, and you've also received the written version of the song, so take a look at that. When you're learning a song as a beginner, one of the best ways to do this, as you notice, as I was playing the song in the beginning, I was doing a lot of strumming, but what is really easiest to do as you're learning it is just to play the chord once and then to sing the lyrics. Kind of like this. You'd go, ah, look at all the lonely people. Ah, look at all the lonely people. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has been, and so forth. And that way you're getting the chords and you're getting the lyrics and you're getting kind of the feel of the song. But if you try to do the strumming and the singing and chords at once, very often it gets kind of confused and garbled and it's challenging to keep it together. So it's good to start out that way. And then once you have that, then you can begin to add the strumming. And what I would recommend as a beginner is that what you're doing is that you're strumming just down strokes, which means that you strum from, the G string down, and then you come back up and do that again and just repeat those down strokes. Later on, as you progress, you'll begin to develop other strumming patterns and upstrokes as well. But in the beginning, it's good to just stick with the downstrokes. So, also what you'll notice as you're playing in the beginning, your fingers will get sore pressing down the strings. That is totally normal and natural and expectable. And as you play over the first few weeks, you'll develop calluses and that will go away. So, work on this song. As you get the lyrics, then you can add the strums in. And I hope it goes well. Please visit rockandrollacademyohi.com and you'll find lots of other resources and videos and great stuff there and ways of continuing your guitar playing. Thanks a lot for listening. Have a great day.